Every single morning, millions of people unknowingly fuel the very disease they fear most: cancer. Here's what most people don't realize. Your breakfast, lunch, and dinner are either your best defense against cancer, or they're quietly feeding it. I'm talking about everyday foods. Foods sitting in your pantry right now. Foods you might even consider healthy. The truth? Up to 40% of all cancers are preventable. Not with expensive treatments or miracle cures, but with what you put on your plate every single day. I'm here to show you exactly which foods create the perfect environment for cancer cells to thrive, and more importantly, how to stop feeding them, starting today. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap to transform your diet into a cancer-fighting machine. Let's dive in. Section 1. The Cancer Cell Blueprint. Before we talk about food, you need to understand what cancer cells actually need to survive. Think of it like this. Imagine you're trying to grow a garden. You need 4 things: seeds, water, sunlight, and soil. Without any one of these, nothing grows. Cancer cells work the same way. They need 4 critical ingredients. First, fuel. Cancer cells are like gas-guzzling trucks. They burn through sugar at an alarming rate, up to 200 times faster than normal cells. This is called the Warburg effect, and it's their Achilles heel. Second, growth signals. Hormones like insulin and IGF-1 act like text messages telling cells to grow and multiply. Cancer cells have way more receptors for these messages, sometimes 6 times more than healthy cells. Third, inflammation. Think of inflammation as the bodyguard that cancer hires. It suppresses your immune system, your natural cancer surveillance team, and tears down barriers that would normally stop cancer from spreading. Fourth, blood supply. Through a process called angiogenesis, cancer creates its own network of blood vessels, like building highways to deliver nutrients directly to tumor sites. Now here's the game changer. The foods you eat every day either provide these 4 ingredients or they block them. It's that simple. And I'm about to show you the biggest culprits hiding in plain sight, including one toxin you've probably never heard of. Section 2. The hidden danger. Let's start with something shocking. One of the most powerful, naturally occurring carcinogens is hiding in foods we eat every week. It's called aflatoxin, a toxic compound produced by mold that grows on certain grains and nuts. According to trusted sources like the WHO, aflatoxins are linked to liver cancer and are classified as a Group 1 carcinogen. The foods most at risk? Peanuts, almonds, walnuts, pistachios, and corn products. Now, before you panic and throw out all your nut butter, let me be clear. Nuts themselves are incredibly healthy. The problem is how they're stored and processed. Here's a real-world scenario. Let's say you buy a jar of almond butter from a discount store. Those almonds might have been sourced from humid regions where mold thrives. The manufacturer may have skipped thorough inspection to cut costs. Now that jar is sitting in your pantry, and every time you spread it on toast, you're potentially exposing yourself to aflatoxin. But here's the good news. You can dramatically reduce your exposure with 3 simple strategies. Strategy 1. Buy nuts and nut butters from reputable brands that source from dry climates like California or Spain, not humid tropical regions. Strategy 2. Visual inspection. Before eating any nut, look for discoloration, shriveling, or visible mold. If it looks off, toss it. Strategy 3. Freshness matters. Consume nuts within 30 days of opening and always check expiration dates. Roasting peanuts and pistachios can reduce aflatoxin by up to 50%, though it doesn't eliminate it entirely. One more thing. Aflatoxins can sneak into dairy products too. If cows eat moldy feed, a compound called aflatoxin M1 gets secreted into their milk. Stick with regulated dairy brands and avoid unregulated raw milk unless you trust your source completely. But aflatoxins aren't the only problem. The next food on our list is something you probably eat multiple times a day, and it's cancer's favorite meal. Section 3. The sugar trap. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine your body as a city filled with millions of tiny power plants. Your cells. Normal cells are like modern, efficient plants that burn fuel cleanly and produce lots of energy. But cancer cells? They're like old, broken factories. They're inefficient, wasteful, and they need 10 times more fuel to produce the same energy. And their fuel of choice? Pure sugar. This is the Warburg effect in action. Cancer cells gorge on glucose even when there's plenty of oxygen around, something normal cells would never do. But here's where it gets worse. When you eat high-sugar foods, soda, white bread, pastries, candy, your blood sugar spikes. Your body releases insulin and IGF-1 to bring it back down. Remember those growth signals I mentioned earlier? Insulin and IGF-1 are the ultimate growth signals. They literally tell cells, it's time to grow bigger and divide faster. So you're creating a double disaster. First, you're flooding your body with cancer's preferred fuel. Second, you're sending hormonal signals that tell cancer cells to multiply. Studies show that breast cancer cells can have 6 times more insulin receptors than healthy cells. They're literally supercharged to respond to the sugar you eat. And it gets even worse. That blood sugar spike triggers chronic inflammation, which damages your DNA and weakens your immune system. The very system that's supposed to hunt down and destroy cancer cells before they become a problem. Here's the bottom line. Every time you choose a high-sugar food, you're potentially feeding cancer and telling it to grow. But every time you choose the right foods, you're starving cancer while nourishing your healthy cells. So, what should you do? Action step 1. Cut out the worst offenders immediately. Regular soda, fruit juice, candy, pastries, white bread, white rice. These are high glycemic bombs that spike your blood sugar fastest. Action step 2. Replace them with low glycemic, high fiber alternatives. Think black beans, lentils, quinoa, berries, leafy greens, and non-starchy vegetables. Action step 3. If you're a soda drinker, this is your easiest win. Switch to water, unsweetened tea, or even diet soda. Yes, artificial sweeteners have controversy, but they're still a better choice than liquid sugar. Pro tip for busy professionals. Prep fiber-rich snacks on Sunday. Hummus with veggie sticks, mixed berries, or roasted chickpeas. When the 3 p.m. sugar craving hits, you're ready. Pro tip for parents. Swap your kids' juice boxes for whole fruit. A medium apple has the same sweetness but with 4 grams of fiber to slow down sugar absorption. Now, there's another controversial food group that everyone argues about. Let me set the record straight on meat and cancer. Section 4. The meat debate. All right, let's tackle the elephant in the room. Does red meat cause cancer? The headlines scream, "Bacon causes cancer," and "Red meat is as dangerous as smoking." But here's what the science actually says. Yes, there's a correlation between high consumption of processed meats, bacon, ham, hot dogs, sausages, and colorectal cancer. Multiple studies show this association. But here's the nuance. These are observational studies. They show people who eat more processed meat are more likely to get cancer. But they can't prove the meat itself is the direct cause. Why? Because people who eat a lot of processed meat might also smoke more, exercise less, and eat fewer vegetables. On the flip side, people who avoid processed meat might have better healthcare access and healthier lifestyles overall. This is called healthy user bias. That said, there are mechanistic reasons to be cautious. Reason 1. Processed meats contain nitrites, preservatives that keep them pink and flavorful. In your stomach's acidic environment, nitrites convert to nitrosamines, which are known carcinogens linked to stomach cancer. Reason 2. When you grill, fry, or barbecue meat at high temperatures, you create compounds called heterocyclic amines, HCAs, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAH. Animal studies show these chemicals damage DNA and promote cancer growth. So what's my take? I don't think you need to become vegetarian, but I do think moderation and preparation matter. Here's the real issue. When you eat more red meat, you're probably eating less fiber-rich foods, vegetables, fruits, beans, whole grains. And studies consistently show that people with higher fiber intake have a 13% lower risk of cancer mortality. Practical guidelines. Guideline 1. Limit processed meats to once a week or less. Choose uncured, nitrite-free options when possible. Guideline 2. If you grill meat, marinate it first with herbs and spices. This can reduce HCA formation by up to 90%. Also, avoid charring or burning. Guideline 3. Use the plate method. Make 2/3 of your plate vegetables and fiber-rich foods, and 1/3 protein. This ensures you're getting cancer-fighting nutrients with every meal. Pro tip for meat lovers. Try swapping 1 or 2 meat-based meals per week with plant-based proteins like lentil curry or black bean tacos. Your gut bacteria, which play a huge role in cancer prevention, will thank you. Section 5. The alcohol truth. I need to be straight with you about alcohol. The International Agency for Research on Cancer classified alcohol as a Group 1 carcinogen back in 1987. That puts it in the same category as tobacco and asbestos. Alcohol is linked to cancers of the mouth, throat, esophagus, liver, breast, and colon. Here's how it works. Your liver breaks down alcohol into acetaldehyde, a toxic compound that directly damages your DNA and interferes with DNA repair mechanisms. Alcohol also depletes critical vitamins like B1, thiamine, and folate, both essential for healthy cell function and DNA synthesis. Without them, errors in DNA replication increase. Plus, alcohol acts as a solvent, making it easier for other carcinogens, like tobacco or nitrosamines, to enter your tissues. Bottom line, if cancer prevention is your priority, reducing alcohol is one of the most impactful changes you can make. If you drink regularly, aim to cut back to special occasions only. Replace evening wine with herbal tea or sparkling water with lemon. If you're social drinking, set a 2-drink maximum and alternate each alcoholic drink with a glass of water. All right, let's bring it all together. Here are your 3 main takeaways. 1. Cancer cells need 4 things to thrive: glucose, growth hormones, inflammation, and blood supply. Your food choices either feed these or fight them. 2. Avoid hidden carcinogens like aflatoxins in poorly stored nuts and nitrosamines in processed meats. Choose quality, inspect carefully, and prioritize freshness. 3. Starve cancer by cutting high-sugar foods and loading up on fiber-rich, low-glycemic alternatives. Moderate meat and alcohol consumption, and always prioritize vegetables. Remember, up to 40% of cancers are preventable. You have more control than you think. Every meal is a choice. Choose wisely. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more evidence-based health content. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's one food you're going to change today? Next week, I'm tackling artificial sweeteners and cancer, separating fact from fiction. You won't want to miss it. Stay healthy, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.